The UE Boom is one of my favorite Bluetooth speakers on the market. It's got a great, light, compact, portable design, and it has great sound and battery life for this size. However, nothing is perfect, and that doesn't come without some flaws. Let me tell you about them. Welcome to my full review of the UE Boom 3, the portable wireless Bluetooth waterproof speaker. If you enjoy what you see here, feel free to like and subscribe and comment and do all that kind of stuff. It really helps support my channel and it's completely free for you guys, so I don't see why you shouldn't. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So coming in at 200 Australian dollars or 150 USD, this speaker's got a great, light, portable, rugged design that's perfect to just throw in your bag on the go. Weighing in at just over 600 grams, the speaker it shares the same design as the UE Boom 1 and UE Boom 2. With a few changes of course. Like its predecessors, it shares the same cylindrical design with the same grilled cloth fabric wrapped around the entire speaker, except for this tiny little strip around the back. There's not much more to say about it really. I personally really like the simplistic design that it has, all while keeping the signature UE Boom look. This speaker has 5 buttons in total, 2 on the side and 3 up top. The 2 on the side are the most self-explanatory. It's the big plus and minus. The plus is just volume up and the minus is volume down. So not much more to say really. Then the 3 on the top, you got the big main one, which was what UE called the magic button. The magic button, I'll get into the magic of it later, but for now, I'll just say all it does is pause, play, skip, but you can't triple tap to go back, which is kind of unfortunate. Then the other 2. The 2 smaller ones, the first one is the power button, and the one on the back is just a Bluetooth button with a little LED indicator to make sure you know that it's working. And I mean, that's really it for controls. It's pretty basic as you can tell. There's not much more to say. The UE website claims that this speaker can get about 15 hours on a single charge. And in my real world testing, I've gotten about 12 hours on 50% volume, which is actually pretty good if you compare it to some other speakers such as the JBL Charge 4. JBL claim about 20 hours of battery life on a single charge with the JBL Charge 4. However, in my real world testing, I got about 10 hours of battery life on 50% volume, which means that the winner for battery life out of those 2 is easily the UE Boom 3. I nearly said 4. Now by now you may have noticed that on the UE Boom 3 there's no indicator or anywhere to tell you how much battery it has left, unlike some other speakers such as the JBL Charge 4. The UE Boom 3 doesn't have this because all you have to do is first turn it on, there we go, and then to check out how much battery it has left, you press the 2 volume buttons together,
60% charge,
and it tells you exactly how much battery it has left. On the topic of charging and battery life, this speaker charges via a micro USB connection, which is kind of disappointing that it's not a USB-C connection, but hopefully they can add this on the UE Boom 4. Anyway, the charging port is held down the bottom of the speaker underneath this little flap here. This little flap is used to help keep the charging port safe so that the speaker can keep its IP67 water and dust resistance, which means that the speaker can be submerged in water for up to 30 minutes without being damaged. The Boom 3 can also float in water, so if you take it to a pool or river and it gets knocked in, you don't have to worry because 1, it's waterproof, and 2, it'll just float, so it won't sink to the bottom and you won't lose it. Now let's move over to the UE Boom app, which you can download from either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. And it's a pretty handy app. You'll definitely need it if you get this speaker. It allows you to change the EQ of the speaker to your liking, or it's got a few presets if you can't be bothered doing it yourself. Now, this big button up top that I called the magic button earlier is a magic button for a reason, and that's that it's marketing and it doesn't really do that much magic at all. It does no magic actually. But all this button, the only extra feature that it allows you to do is be able to play any playlist from either Apple Music, Amazon Music, or Deezer with no Spotify. Spotify is not included. So if you have any of those 3 streaming platforms, you can choose any one playlist to play just by pressing this button. Whoa, so much magic. One of the more magical things that you can do with that is that you can connect up to 100 UE boom speakers together to play music simultaneously. This feature, which is called Party Up, is really good for, as it says, parties, if you got multiple speakers. It'll work with pretty much any UE branded speaker, consisting of the UE Boom, the Boom 2, Boom 3, the Mega Boom, the Mega Boom 3, and the Hyper Boom. However, this does not include the Wonder Boom or the Blast or Mega Blast line of speakers, so you won't be able to connect those ones together. I'm not going to go full in depth on how this speaker sounds because I've got an entirely separate video called the UE Boom 3 sound test, which is out on my channel, which is a sound test and just everything you need to know about the sound of this speaker. That video will be linked down below and up here, whichever side it is. I'd highly recommend you go and watch that video straight after watching this one. What I will say, however, is that this speaker, it sounds really good and it gets really loud for the size that it is because it's pretty small compared to some other speakers. This speaker plays really well at more of the mid and the higher frequencies, and it has pretty good bass, but it doesn't have that deeper bass as some other speakers might have. So again, the sound test out on my channel now. It will be linked down below. You should go and watch that one straight after watching this one, so don't leave yet. However, that doesn't mean that this speaker is terrible or it's trash compared to some other speakers, just because it doesn't have the best booming bass out there. It's still one of my favorite speakers because of other features that it has. One being the 360-degree sound, which is something that I personally absolutely love about this speaker that not many other speakers have. It allows you to be able to hear the speaker from any direction, no matter where it's playing. Basically, even from the back, you'll be able to hear it as if it was coming from the front. And I know this may not sound significant, but if I get the JBL Charge 4, that will sound completely different from the back. This speaker is also rugged and built to be outdoors. It's able to withstand a drop from 1.5 meters, and I know this personally because I have dropped and tossed this thing around like crazy, and it still works fine with like very little scratches around the bottom. It's also waterproof and dustproof, which means you can take it to the beach or to the pool or to the river. I just love the simplistic design that this speaker has. The nice fabric around it with the plain big buttons. One thing I would change about these buttons though is that you got to press them right in the middle and they're not that clicky. Something that I would change about this, if I could, is I would make the buttons a bit more clicky or a bit easier to press, because this one down the bottom, sometimes it's a bit hard to find the very middle, but you know, you get there eventually. Okay, so my final thoughts on this speaker is that it's a good speaker, it's got really good sound, but it's not an audiophile speaker. So if you're someone that's looking for the absolute best sound out of any speaker that's imaginable, this, not it, Chief. You lose some of the depth and the bass in the speaker in favor of other things, such as that 360-degree sound, which, again, personally, one of my favorite features. It's built for the outdoors, being water and dust resistant, as well as drop resistant from 1.5 meters, which is really good. And with the sound signature that this thing has, it sounds a lot better outdoors than some other speakers that I've tried. Which is why I'd recommend this speaker for anyone looking for a cheap Bluetooth speaker. Because this thing works perfectly outdoors, it's perfectly portable, it's perfect for indoors as well. It's just, overall, it's a pretty good speaker. So that's my full review of the UE Boom 3 portable Bluetooth speaker. Now that you've watched this video, I'd highly recommend going and watching my sound test of this video, because it would really help decide if you should get this speaker or not. If you enjoyed, feel free to comment, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Come hang out with me and my friends in my Discord, and come follow me on Instagram. I'll have everything linked down below. And with that all being said, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.